War rages across the mortal realms. New alliances are formed while others lie shattered, and the dominant powers ever seek their next conquest. As these two powerful forces prepare to clash, only one will rise victorious when the dust settles. While this and countless other battles rage on, one fact is becoming clear. The season of war has begun. This video is brought to you by the support of our channel members and the FLGS Partners, Warfire Minis, and X-Planet. Looking for a painting commission? Check out artwstudio.com.
Hello and welcome to Season of War! Ryan, welcome back to the channel. Another game, actually, it's been a while since you brought out your Slaves to Darkness.
Yes.
But a couple new additions to the army and new sub-faction to try out.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, we're going to have some fun tonight. Bear with me. My voice is still recovering from Novo, which is like 5-6 days ago. I lost my voice there, but we're getting it back. So just bear with me. But otherwise, we'll jump into things tonight. What are we playing? We're playing Silk Steel Nests. So 8 objectives on the table. Hold 1, hold 2, hold more. You get a bonus point if you burn 1 from the second round on. You have to be within an inch of the center. It can only burn your opponents. So an extra point. But stuff near it has the chance to take mortal wounds. And yeah, lots of objectives. So it can be a challenge for some armies. But coming into this, Ryan, obviously you're playing your slaves. Put it up for vote, and the premium members chose for me to play Blades of Khorne. And because of that, I had to put in the time, painted up Starbrand. I actually ran him for the first time against you a month or two ago.
Yeah, he found Kairos.
But now it's not with it with your own model fighting you, so he's going to do better for me. Not that he did bad.
He killed a third of my army in that first game, one turn.
Yeah. But here, just freshly painted up, not quite done yet, as always. But I gotta give a big shout out to Warfire Minis, one of our channel partners who helped me get this model and get him on the table here for you guys. So big shout out to Warfire Minis. But Ryan, that's a lot of words, so why don't you jump in and take us through your list?
Sure, so I'm playing a Zeech themed Idolators force, which is the force from some supplements at some point. It's not in the Chaos book. So that's pretty much kind of the high level. For those who don't know Idolators, they're the priest themed army, so I get +1 on my prayers, and then I get to make this chariot here, which we'll start with. This chariot, 1 chariot in your army can be turned into a character, and he's a spellcaster, or not a spellcaster, a prayer caster. Priest, that's the word I'm looking for. So he's my warlord. He knows curse, heal, and then the Zeech one that's built into Idolators. He's also got the Warlord trait that lets him cast 2 prayers, and then when he casts the prayers, he can cast the same one more than once. So I can double curse or double Zeech or double heal, I suppose.
Yeah.
Which is pretty good. The whole army gets +1 to pray, which is also pretty good because then most of my prayers go off in a 2-up, which is much better than
nice. 3-up. Yep.
So that's him. Beside him, I have a unit of 20 Chaos Warriors. You may see halberds, but those are sword halberds because as of the latest General's Handbook, halberds are a never take, but I built them with them, so that's what we're going to do.
All good.
We have a unit of Chaos Knights over here with ensorcelled weapons. We have my we have my War Shrine of Chaos. Here he's got heal and curse are his prayers. He also knows he has God specific ones built in. He's also a priest, so he'll also get +1 to cast. We have our big guy Be'lakor here, who's gonna mess with at least 1 bloodthirster.
Wonder which one.
Yeah. He knows Whispers of Chaos, which basically some mortal wounds, and then if I kill a model in the unit, they can't move into my next hero phase. So that could be nasty on a double turn. Probably less relevant in this game, but I mean, if you're up against Mortek Guard or something, you can ruin someone's day real bad.
Yeah.
I have a massive unit of Iron Golems here, 24, max size. Not much to say there. They're tanky and they hit like wet noodles, but I bring them because they're cheap and tanky, so there's that. We also have a Chaos Sorcerer Lord here. He has the Arcane Tomb, so he's a 2-cast wizard. And he knows Massive Darkness, which is the Chaos Teleport spell. Then behind here, we have a 20-man unit of Marauders. They have axes. Not a lot to say there. Everyone knows what they do. They charge things, kill something, and then die. I allied in a unit of Screamers because I had 100 points left over. And I figured a whole army of
Quick
Souls.
objective
Yeah, it was between them and Furies, and I just feel like for 5 points more, they bring 4 inches of extra movement, and that's enough value to justify bringing them.
Fair.
And then hiding behind this right here is another unit of Iron Golems, min size, 8 guys, basically just chaff. In terms of my my battalion layout, I've got the 2 units of Iron Golems and the Warriors in Expert Conquerors. I've got the Marauders and the Knights in Bounty Hunters, and then everything else is in a Warlord. And the Warlord bonus I chose was an extra prayer for all my priests, which is why my 2 priests know so many prayers. And that's the army.
Nice. Excited to see a lot. Again, this is the first time I've seen the Chaos Warbands out, and you got a double reinforce. So excited to see what they do on the table. But for myself, I am obviously playing Khorne, running Reapers of Vengeance, because that's what you do when you take Starbrand. And Starbrand is carrying the faction right now on his back. He's not using his wings anyways. So, but yeah, in here I have Starbrand again. Insane mortal wound output, Reapers of Vengeance potentially giving me a double pile-in with a hero. I have 3 Bloodthirsters in addition to Starbrand, 2 Bloodthirsters of Insensate Rage, and then I believe it's the Bloodthirster of Unfettered Fury, giving me the 6-inch pile-in aura. So just great for delivering all this stuff and kind of choosing activations and engagements. Other than that, I have a Blood Secretor for his +1 to attack aura, is amazing, and I have a Slaughter Priest who's just can be pretty much hurting my own stuff to generate Blood Tithe. And then for Battle Line, I have 3 units of Fleshhounds. Again, just to run around quick, objective nab, screen, all that fun stuff. And 2 units of Bloodletters, who are in Expert Conquerors, just because I have wanted to fill out the bodies. And that's the majority of it. I did an Expert Conquerors, I had a Battle Regiment, and I had a Command Entourage, which actually let me outdrop you here, Ryan. So I get choice. At 8 drops, I got choice, which
and it's very thematic 8, and I was 9 as each, so it's like...
home field advantage here, clearly for Khorne, though.
That's what you think. It's just a big illusion. It's confusing.
We'll see. But either way, Ryan, I'm going to give you first turn here.
I figured you might.
Let you walk right into my trap, and we will jump into Slaves to Darkness, turn 1.
Alright.
The Blades of Khorne choose a proving ground. The Slaves to Darkness battle tactic is against the odds. The Idolator Lord and Blood Secretor both use heroic leadership. The Sorcerer Lord uses oracular visions on the Iron Golems. The Sorcerer Lord casts demonic power on the Chaos Warriors. The Sorcerer Lord fails to cast Mask of Darkness. Be'lakor casts Mystic Shield on the Chaos Warriors. Be'lakor fails to cast the Burning Head. The Idolator Lord fails his chant for Blessing of Tzeentch. The Idolator Lord chants for Blessing of Tzeentch again on the Chaos Knights. The Chaos War Shrine chants for Favor of Tzeentch on the Iron Golems. The slaves score 2 objectives and complete their battle tactic for 4 points.
All right. So this is my turn. It was not the most exciting turn. I basically just shimmy forward a little bit, but I'm afraid of a Bloodthirster double turn, so I can't get too close.
I mean, you could.
Yeah, but then I don't have an army, and I like my armies, so we shimmy forward a bit. I'm still within threat range, but you really can't get outside of threat range. So I'm just kind of hoping to take a punch, but not be kind of overcommitted. My flanking screamers became sacrificial lambs, just to clog up the middle a little bit. I feel like that's the only way. There's not going to be like 4 Bloodthirsters right in my face, so they're going to die. In terms of casting, I failed one of my prayers, and I failed Mask of Darkness, which is the teleport. I was really hoping to teleport one of these units deep into his lines and just force him to split up and have to deal with it, but unfortunately, it wouldn't be, but I did succeed in my other spells. I did get a Mystic Shield off, and I got a Demonic Power off, so that's good. Lots of +1 to saves across the board here. I'm sure you'll notice all these little green markers. That all represents +1 to saves, and not even War Scroll ones, actual ones that I've casted. So these models are very tanky right now, except to Mortal Wounds, which there's a lot of over there.
Yeah.
But I don't expect Scarbrand to get in right away, so I'm hoping to kind of weather that a bit. Be'lakor didn't move at all because he looks cool up here. Also, there's just no way for you to get to him here, and he's just waiting to mess with somebody. So that's kind of me. I got my battle tactic. I have 4 objectives.
Solid 4 points.
Yeah.
Pretty standard for this kind of a mission. So good start.
Yep.
And we'll jump into Blades of Khorne, turn 1.
The Khorne battle tactic is desecrate their lands. The Blood Secretor and Idolator Lord both fail heroic leadership. The Slaughter Priest chants for blood sacrifice. The Bloodthirster of Insensate Rage uses at the double. The Screamers redeploy 1 inch, but decide not to move. The Bloodthirster of Unfettered Fury uses the Crimson Crown for Rejoice in the Slaughter. The Insensate Rage uses all-out attack, killing the Screamers and dealing 4 mortal wounds to nearby units. Khorne scores 2 objectives and complete their battle tactic for 4 points.
Alright, Blades of Khorne, turn 1. Gave the Slaves to Darkness a nice little appetizer of things to come. Sent in 1 Bloodthirster of Insensate Rage, just to kill the unit Screamers, kind of move into the center of the board, and try and pop the little AoE mortal wounds. I got a couple out there. 1/6 on the wounds.
Yep.
So there's 4 mortals and they took them all to both the Chaos Warriors and the War Shrine. And I used my Unfettered Furies Rejoice in the Slaughter for the 6-inch pile-in, giving not only the Unfettered Fury the ability to pile in an attack, but also let me pile in the Fleshhound 6 inches, which allowed them to kind of screen out a little better. And kind of just help protect me against the hit back.
Yep.
And that all depends on priority as well. I got my battle tactic over here pretty easily, just needed to run 1 inch. So that was a guarantee, and I will also score 4 points here.
Alright. And you got a blood type.
And I got another blood tithe, so I'm up to 2, thanks to a
Probably an unfortunate
slaughter
number.
priest.
I don't like that number.
Yep, that's an auto unbind right there. But first, we are into priority.
Right.
That's a 2. That's on the rocks. 3.
I
Alright.
think I'll take it.
Okay.
Which is interesting because this army, the way it's built, is I want to give up the early double turn so he can mess with somebody and then take over later. But
Yeah.
I think I'll take it because I'm in a position where if I give it to you, I'm going to be swimming in bloodthirst. So,
Could be.
yeah.
Alright, sounds good. We'll jump into Slaves to Darkness, turn 2.
The Blades of Khorne choose a proving ground. The Slaves to Darkness battle tactic is desecrate their lands. The Idolator Lord and Blood Secretor both fail heroic leadership. The Warshine chants for heal, recovering 1 wound. The Idolator Lord chants for blessings of Tzeentch on the Chaos Warriors. The Idolator Lord chants for blessings of Tzeentch on the War Shrine. The Sorcerer Lord uses oracular visions on the Iron Golems. The Sorcerer Lord fails to cast demonic power. The Sorcerer Lord casts Mask of Darkness on the Marauders. Be'lakor casts the Burning Head. Be'lakor casts Whispers of Chaos, dealing 1 mortal wound to the Fleshhounds. The Burning Head deals 1 damage to the Fleshhounds and 3 to the Bloodthirster. The Iron Golems deal 3 damage to the Fleshhounds. The Marauders use all-out attack and deal 6 damage to the Bloodletters. The Bloodletters kill 2 Marauders. The Fleshhounds kill 1 Marauder. The Marauders use Inspiring Presence and 2 Bloodletters flee from Battle Shock. The Slaves score 2 and more objectives and complete their battle tactic for 5 points.
Alright, so I had an interesting turn. I Masked in Darkness, the Marauder Bomb over there. It did Marauder Bomb things and took the objective, which is great, because now Jordan's in a position where he has to send resources to deal with it, or he's going to start losing his backline, and all the Bloodthirsters can't just come out. Other than that, the Chaos Knights set up to kind of be scary. They're probably going to get punched in the face, but their Chaos Knights are good at being punched in the face. Other than that, I shimmied around. I did not charge because I'm afraid of Bloodthirsters piling into me. Be'lakor's hiding. He's ready for the countercharge. I did pray a heal onto the War Shrine, and I got one back. Prayed a few +1 armors. You'll see some random green things. So there's 1 here, 1 there, 1 there. Other than that, I did get my Flaming Skull off. Did some damage to the Bloodthirster and the the hounds. I did go for the big whispers of chaos play on the hounds to try and kill one and deny them from moving, which would have just completely messed up.
Would have been an annoying scream to myself.
Yeah, and I got it off, but I rolled 1-6 and didn't kill a guy. So it was kind of a long shot, and I gave up a -1 loot spell to do it. But that's like game altering if I had a fleshhound screen all of a sudden.
Yes.
So,
You decided not to kill any of the fleshhounds or charge any of them.
No, I charged these ones.
Over here on this side.
Yeah. So, other than that,
mainly because to call out the pile 6, I could have popped with my bloodthirsters, and then anything charging would not hit back.
Yep. So other than that, I hold more because I took that one. He did Proving Grounds this one, so the Knights did not take that one. Otherwise, they would have burnt it. So there's that. He has to deal with them, or they'll burn it next turn, though. So it gives him his flanks are exposed. The Bloodthirsters can't all just come down my middle.
You have taken both my outer objectives, but it might just be the Khorne, and I just really want to shove 4 Bloodthirsters right down the middle.
Right.
But
so we'll see what happens. I'm bracing for impact, and I'll push it over to Khorne.
All right, sounds good. Let's do it.
The Khorne battle tactic is against the odds. The Bloodthirster heals 3 wounds from Heroic Recovery, and the Idolator Lord uses Heroic Leadership. Be'lakor uses the Dark Master on Scarbrand. The Slaughter Priest chants for blood sacrifice. The Chaos Knights redeploy, moving 3 inches. The Unfettered Fury deals 2 damage to the Chaos Knights. The Unfettered Fury uses the Crimson Crown for Rejoice and the Slaughter. The Chaos Warriors use All Out Defense. The Insensate Rage Bloodthirster uses Leave None Alive, dealing 4 mortal wounds to the nearby units. With his second activation, the Insensate Rage deals another 4 mortal wounds to nearby units, killing the Sorcerer Lord. One Bloodthirster uses All Out Defense, and the Chaos Warriors deal 3 damage to each. The next Insensate Rage deals 4 mortal wounds to nearby units, finishing off the War Shrine and Idolator Lord. The Marauders finish off the Bloodletters. The Fleshhounds deal 2 damage to the Chaos Warriors. The Iron Golems deal 3 wounds to the Bloodthirster. The Fleshhounds pile in and tag the Chaos Knights. Khorne scores 2 objectives and completes their battle tactic for 4 points.
Alright, Blades of Khorne turn 2. I don't even know how many points I stored, because that's not what I was thinking about at all this turn.
You scored 3.
I would hold 1, hold 2.
Oh, that's right.
What was my battle tactic even?
You were going to hold that with your Bloodletters.
Oh, yes,
so
against the odds.
You
So
get 4.
I get 4, which is all I needed, because I was going to smash stuff, and my axes bounced off of the armor of all your Chaos Warriors. Literally not one through, but the reverberating explosions killed quite a bit.
Yeah, I don't have any heroes anymore.
So actually here, between the 2 activations on the 1 and the single activation, I had 18 attacks. On 4-ups, I only actually got 6 attacks hits through. 4-ups rerolling 1s. So that was pretty pitiful. But of those 6 that went through, 3 of the 6 wounded. Sorry, 3 of the 6 were 6s, and 5 of the 6 wounded. Now you made all 5 of your armor saves, but that was 12 mortal wounds, basically hitting all those units. Killed your your chariot and your war shrine and your little hero, which also generates me blood tithe. And
yeah.
You did 6 damage to one bloodthirster and 3 to the other in attacks back, but obviously those are some devastating blows to your heroes. But again, the Chaos Warriors +3 to save right now, so they were pretty tanky.
Yep.
Over here, you made a nice redeploy, 3 inches, which put you outside of my 6-inch pile-in range. I could have charged, but it would have taken me out of the 6-inch pile-in range for these guys. Decided it wasn't worth it, but I did pile in and tag them with the dogs. And if you were to pile back to get your attacks in, it would have brought you into the Bloodthirster range, so you decided not to. But very tricky, again, that 6-inch pile-in really is messes with you. But the big thing, Be'lakor pointing his finger across the battlefield at Starbrand.
He's twiddling his thumbs.
Yeah, he's not doing anything. Sharpening his axes. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So again, killed a bunch of stuff. Not the troops, which are still holding down the fort. And that's that. So we'll, I think, just jump into priority then.
Yep. I got a 4.
I got a 2. It's a conundrum, because obviously the Be'lakor you want to give it away, but there are some risks.
Yeah, but you're gonna kill all these no matter what I do.
Yeah, I'm up to 7 blood tithes, so
you can attack with both of them, right?
Fighting the hero phase. I think it's either 3 or 4 points. It might be 4. Wouldn't double check, but at least 1 would be getting to fight in the hero phase.
No, I'll take it.
Okay, sounds good.
I need to take more of your objectives. And
yeah, do some story. So we will jump into Slaves to Darkness, turn 3.
Mm-hmm.
The Slaves to Darkness battle tactic is barge through enemy lines. Be'lakor and a Bloodthirster both use their finest hour. The Bloodthirster uses Apoplectic Frenzy, dealing 5 damage to the Chaos Warriors. Be'lakor miscasts Enfeeble Foe and takes 3 mortal wounds. Be'lakor and Unfettered Fury roar at each other. Be'lakor deals 6 damage to the Bloodthirster. The Bloodthirster deals no damage. The Marauders use all-out attack but deal no damage. The Fleshhounds deal 2 damage to the Marauders. The Iron Golems deal no damage. The Fleshhounds deal 5 damage to Be'lakor. The Slave score 2 and more objectives, completes their battle tactic, and burns an objective for 6 points.
Alright, so my turn's up. It was successful and catastrophic at the same time, so I pulled back here just to deny the Bloodthirsters more attacks. He did attack in my hero phase, used a bunch of blood tithe. Did a couple wounds, didn't blow up, so it's okay. And then I moved back just so he wouldn't get 2 more combat phases. This stuff's not going to kill these things anyway, so it's just about kind of holding you back.
Keeping the objective, surviving, storing.
Bellicor managed to miscast, so he hurt himself.
Yeah.
And then he fights down and he made a clutch charge all the way over to that Bloodthirster, and then promptly decided to whiff all his attacks and do almost nothing.
Though he did roar, which means
that's true.
This guy, because he only moved 5, he was not able to pile in, because if he was, he could have fought twice as well. So full bracket.
So the roar was good, but I really want to hurt the Bloodthirster a little. He did some damage, but not really. And then over here, I charged the Fleshhounds with 2 units. They both
did no damage.
Whiffed.
No damage.
Basically, my army did nothing this turn other than fled and took objectives. I did burn this one. We didn't pull it out because the models are on top, but that's burnt, that objective, so it gets me an extra VP. I did barge to enemy lines. I got units back there, so I successfully that, and I hold like most of the objectives at this point, so I got that.
Hey, you don't take this one though, because I piled on, and
that's true, but I don't need it, so it's fine.
No, yeah. But that said, because there's only 7 objectives now, because this one's burned, it does mean I'm only 1 objective away from a hold more.
So, interesting place. I think I'm trying to climb uphill after losing all my buff pieces in an army that really needs buff pieces. But at least I've spread out in a way that forces Jordan not to just keep shoving down my throat. But we'll see what Scarbrand decides to do, because wherever he goes, everything's going to die, and there's nothing I can do to stop it. So, but he can only go so many places, and he's walking. So wherever he goes, that's where he's staying for the rest of the game, pretty much.
Yeah, but still 4 Bloodthirsters alive. No extra blood tithe generated this turn is one key. But that's about it. So we will go into Blades of Khorne, turn 3.
All right.
The Khorne battle tactic is barge through enemy lines. The Bloodthirster heals 3 from Heroic Recovery, and Bellicor uses Heroic Leadership. The Chaos Warriors rally, returning 2 models. The Slaughter Priest chants for blood sacrifice. The Fleshhounds use at the double. Scarbrand deals 5 damage to Bellicor. Bellicor stomps the Fleshhounds, dealing 2 mortal wounds. The Unfettered Fury uses the Crimson Crown for Rejoice and the Slaughter. Scarbrand uses Leave None Alive, then slays Bellicor. With his second pile-in, Scarbrand takes out the Chaos Knights. The Chaos Warriors use Olive Defense. The Bloodthirster uses Olive Attack but deals no damage. The Chaos Warriors deal 5 damage to the Bloodthirster. The second Insensate Rage deals 17 damage to the Chaos Warriors. 3 Chaos Warriors flee to Battle Shock. Khorne scores 2 and more objectives and completes their battle tactic for 5 points.
All right, Blades of Khorne, turn 3. It was pretty effective here. Starbrand was finally able to do his thing. Went over, slapped Be'lakor. I did the double fight on him, so then he also went in and killed the Chaos Knights, just trying to clear in this half of the board. Also generated me 2 Blood Tides, so I'm up to 6 again. And my Insensate Rages, finally, I think I got like 8 attached through. The first one, you made all your saves.
Yep.
The second one, you failed them all. And I rolled 17 damage on the 46.
This pile right here, one swing.
Very spicy. 2 more ran, or 3 more ran, which actually means I take that objective. Doesn't actually really matter because I already held more. But I will get that. I am not close enough to burn any of them. And one thing I was hoping, I couldn't retreat these Fleshhounds out of combat because, they were the stopping Be'lakor from redeploying. I was hoping they were just over half because I would have got my battle tactic with 2 GBs for the bonus point. But I don't get that, so 5 points here. Putting me down, still down 2, but obviously in a pretty commanding position on the board. So let's just jump into priority.
I got a 1.
That's a 4. We're going into Blade's Khorne, turn 4.
The Khorne battle tactic is gaining momentum. The Bloodthirster fails heroic leadership. The Insensate Rage uses Apoplectic Frenzy, dealing 12 mortal wounds to nearby units. Scarbrand uses Murderlust. The Slaughter Priest chants for blood sacrifice. The Unfettered Fury uses the Crimson Crown for Rejoice in the Slaughter. The Insensate Rage uses Leaves None alive and takes out the Iron Golems. Khorne scores 2 and more objectives, completes their battle tactic, and burns an objective for 6 points.
Alright, Blades of Khorne turn 4 is pretty effective. Hero phase fight was actually the most effective fighting phase any of my Bloodthirsters have had. The first, he popped off when I think I had 5 hits through, popped off 3 6s, 12 mortal wounds to both those units, cleared the warriors, and made them very easily to finish off. That's gonna store me hold 1, hold 2, hold more. I have 6 objectives right now. I'll burn. It doesn't matter which one I burn, but I'll burn that one over there for a 6th point.
I don't know. Are you within 1 in? Oh, I guess you are.
It's helping me to claw back the points. At this part, you have done Desecrate Their Lands, so is there battle tactics that you think are achievable at this point?
I don't think so.
Maybe an eye for an eye?
Maybe I can kill.
Yeah, there's the 3 Fleshhounds.
Maybe.
So just to work through it quickly, you can jump on this objective, get eye for an eye, burn this, and you'll actually, that could be a 5-point turn for you. So, like,
I think it's unlikely that I kill 3 Fleshhounds.
That's true. Last time those units combined did 0 damage, but at best, it's 5 points for you. I think regardless of the order of priority, there's no way you're getting your battle tactic, or what's your grand strategy, sorry?
I need to kill your battle line.
Yeah, so there's no way you're getting your grand strategy, so even if you have win priority, I don't even know if you can take this one because they're expert conquerors. So even...
I'd have to kill them.
Yeah, and you're going to be probably too far. But anyways, regardless, best case scenario, you score another 5 points, which is like probably not even possible.
We could just quickly roll those attacks now if you're curious.
Yeah, well, no, don't even worry, because let's say you get 5 points again. I don't think you can deny me getting 6 on my turn.
No, I don't think I can win.
Exactly. Well, that would put the game in the best case scenario for Ryan. Here, it would be a tie game at the end of turn 5. You will fail your grand strategy, and all I would need to do is summon a unit off of any of my heroes. Because to put a bounty, Galatian veteran,
because the summons aren't veterans.
They are in this edition.
Oh, are they?
Yes, yeah, they went back on it with this GHB.
I did not.
Weirdly, but now, yeah, like armies like Khorne and Seraphon, you can summon GVs.
Oh, I didn't know that. I've been summoning Screamers in my Tzeentch and not counting them as GVs.
Oh yeah, so.
But you still could get it. I'm not too concerned.
Yeah. Even like, again, I could run that 1 unit of Flesh Hounds to the center. That's the strength of that grand strategy, right? So even if you win Prio, get another 5, can't deny me 6. I made my grand strategy to go up by 3 at the end. So it was like on the table a really close game on the scoreboard. Sorry, on the scoreboard a really close game.
Assuming I can kill 3 Flesh Hounds.
Yes.
Otherwise, I'm down quite a bit.
Again, that's like talking like best case scenario for the slaves here. A tanky army definitely stumped me pretty early, but man, just the mortal wounds cracked open took the hero buffs away.
Stumped you pretty early. You killed all my heroes on turn 2.
That's fair. But I mean, the attacks weren't going through, right? Because you're safe stacking.
Like the safe stacking.
So, like, your heroes were there for buffs for that first initial turn, but the AoE mortals took down the heroes. And then we saw the warriors then start to crumble.
Yeah, and that's how this army's meant to be. It's supposed to have heroes hiding behind it, the buff, and against almost all other kind of melee threats, they would just crash into that wall and get stuck.
Yes.
But you do AoE mortals, and
yes.
And it's so, like, you're so fast, I can't get away from it. Like, it's not like a situation where I can just spread out. It's like, no, you can be anywhere you want.
And the pile in 6 means not only can I move 16 then pile in, but I'm getting further, to the stuff in behind, wrapping around units, different things. Yeah. The bloodthirsty nature of Khorne was on full display here.
Yeah, I was hoping I could get around. I think one thing that really hurt was when you proving grounded that one.
Yep.
And then tag those knights was rather frustrating. Had you not tagged those knights there, they would have wrapped around and got this objective. I don't know if it would have flipped the game in any meaningful way, but it would have given me more.
Yeah. Could have denied me a turn of hold more.
It would have meant they did something, because the knights literally stood there and died. So,
yes, yeah.
So something is better than nothing.
Yeah.
Other than that, it's tough to say what I would have done differently. This is a tough matchup, I think, for this army, because you can get to my back line without getting to me.
Yeah, it was unfortunate for kind of the Idolator's debut to go into something that kind of can get to the heroes.
And this is actually the challenge I have every time I play Slaves, is all my heroes die by turn 2 and then I have no buffs. I've never had my heroes get past turn 2 with this army.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that's like a problem or whatever, but it's something, it's a puzzle piece that I haven't overcome. It's just every time every hero on the board is dead.
Maybe you should try to make 6 Vanguard a hero.
Yeah, or just take Archeon.
Yeah.
But I like Idolators in theory. I like the prayers. I like the stacking of armor saves. It's a cool mechanic. Those warriors against almost any other target are functionally invincible, because 3-up save, rerolling 1s, even if you have like Ren 3, is just unkillable. So they're very good. They're 400 points, which is probably a little.
And here the expert conquerors, again, if you didn't have 3 fleet of battle shock, you were keeping that objective against 2 big monsters, right?
Yep. So I think the army has some legs. It has some definite problems. This is one of its probably more challenging matchups. This or anything that can just snipe out all the heroes. There's just, I don't know. That one's tough, like the Sentinels or whatever.
Yeah.
But into other melee-centric forces, probably does fine. But there's a new Battle Tome coming, so hopefully I'll get some more tools. Because I just had a challenger, I had no way to threaten the Bloodthirsters ever. Not for a second were they threatened.
Yeah, with the Fleshhound screens, I was pretty safe even after I threw one, to the center of the board.
Yep. So, and to be fair, the warriors and stuff did whiff some attacks, and had I been able to curse your guys on the counterattack, maybe I bring them down. But it's the fact that you don't actually have to charge. If one guy attacks and I can fight back, then I get a chance to kill you. But it's one guy comes in, and then I can't fight the other guy because he's not in combat yet.
Yeah.
And that makes it really tough because you get full output.
Yeah, or you hit once or twice, but you only were taking them to 3 wounds.
Yeah, but I mean, that was whippy, but if my heroes hadn't died and they had reroll hits and wounds, like this army can do more damage than that.
Well, the curse is the big one, right? Like, if you did a curse off on these Bloodthirsters with just the volume of
attacks you
have,
slaughter them.
Yeah, you would be able to.
Especially if I get rerolls. I have 2 sources of rerolls, and they both died simultaneously.
Yeah.
So, it's a tough match. I don't know what I would have done differently. Roll differently? I don't know. Bellicor would have killed that bolt. I don't know.
Roll for less 6s.
Yeah.
On my end.
I mean, 3 blow-ups on turn 2 is just tough.
Yeah. 12 mortal wounds.
Yeah. Almost any army is going to get punched pretty hard. And it's just, like I said, like spreading out enough for that. So that's not. I was pretty spread out, but it still really hurt.
Yeah. It did. That's pretty much it here, though. Definitely have to get the Idolaters back out against another army. Maybe something that doesn't do AoE mortal wounds.
Well, it's AOS. You gotta be prepared for everything.
Yeah.
It's sometimes tough. Sometimes matchups are tough.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. But yeah, otherwise, guys, we'll wrap things up here. I hope you enjoyed that matchup. I'm sure if you love Khorne, you enjoyed that one a ton. But hopefully you did either way. And we'll see you guys soon in another battle report.
Nice.